Hey everybody, Edo here, and the good folks at Roxley Game sent along Brass Birmingham. They actually sent this along, and Brass Lancashire, whichever it is. And I did a large unboxing of both. I'll link it in the description, but I've decided not to open this up and just have this big splay in front of me that you can't see or understand. The board's a little bit dark, though incredibly beautiful. And I started taking it out, and it's going to be more of a mess than it's worth. I've played this game a number of times now. I have not played the original Brass. So this is not a comparison between the two. I'm solely reviewing and talking about this game. And it's very different to me than typical Roxley games. I mean, in particular, they took the original game and did a remake reprint, and this is an extension of it. But, you know, when I think of Steampunk Rally or Santorini or the Motherlode, those are much more in the middleweight category, or like light to middle. This is definitely in the middle to heavy. Not so much in how you play, it's just a longer game, right? I wonder what the box is. The box is going to say 60 to 120, and it does sit at that weight. So I think if you are somebody who's a Roxley fan, this is something you should keep in mind. So, from a production standpoint, this thing's gorgeous. It's incredible. The production quality is as high and as gorgeous as it comes. There isn't a component in here that isn't fantastic. It really is excellent. And the rulebook is super pretty, though I don't know. I think the rulebook could have been a little bit more, not more streamlined, but there are a few concepts that I had to go digging around in that rulebook. Gavin, I don't give it an A+, I give it an A, but everything else is AAA. I'm just saying. I think that rulebook is a little bit hard to find what I need. Maybe a glossary would have done it. Not sure. Setting that aside, production is through the roof. In essence, what you're doing in this game is there's a giant map with nodes, locations, and rails or caravans or boats or whatever between the locations. And as a player, that lead to sort of vendors. And what you're doing is you are using, you're drawing a hand of cards, and you're using those cards to pick a location and a resource type or a thing you're going to build, and then you're building it at that location. So what's really novel and interesting and great about this game is players are placing down factories, things that produce on the board, and then anyone is able to leverage the value that comes from that, production spot. If all players use all the production you've put into the world, you get victory points at the end of the game. Otherwise, you're trying to take production to create goods and take goods and sell them to vendors. And so there's markets and there's endpoints and, the whole 9 yards. Like, everything's gorgeous. The play, once everyone's lined up, moves pretty swiftly on a turn-by-turn basis, but, it's a long game. Like, it is a long, trudging game of putting resources down, like, using the resources to make the good, and then selling the good, and hoping you have a limited number of actions per turn, so you don't want to, like, make a track that somebody else can leverage before you have a chance. And, like, it's splendid and works and balanced and gorgeous and like long. And I had, like, I think it's just a game, like, I'm having a hard time. There's nothing wrong with it. It's excellent. There are people who must love this. If you love 60 to 120 minute Euro-style resource generation work, type games with factories and goods and selling it, and like everything's there for people to just love it. I just don't need to play it again. And I'm sorry about it because it's so gorgeous. But like, I just feel like it's not that it feels dated, because I know there's still games that are in here, but like, I play the 45-minute version of this. Like, there's no reason this game can't be streamlined and made modern in a way that, like, is not true to the roots. This execution is true to the roots of the game, and there are people who love those roots, and I don't want to take anything away from those people. But, like, I don't know. I would play it again if a bunch of people wanted me to, and, like, I liked them, so like we could chat along the way. But otherwise, it's a little bit of a grind. And the payoff is like flipping tiles that you've earned, and we're making resource points. It's a really nice split. Like again, there's so many cool mechanics in here in terms of, again, how you're using resources for other players, and how you sort of have this phase A and a phase B of the game, and they clear the board, and it does this thing where like that allows you to. Clearing the board's not the right thing to say, but like basically it phases structure into two parts that really works on the ramp and the dynamic flow of the game, right? Like it's basically perfect. Just don't assume it's like other Roxley games, and don't assume it says 60 to 120, but you're like, yeah, well, we'll play it in 45, right? Learn about it, and if you like this type of game, you will love it. I don't think this will make you a fan of this type of game if you're not. So anyway, that is my Brass Birmingham review. Hey everybody, Edo here, and thanks for watching Gaming with Edo. Reviews over here on this playlist, League and Insider videos over here on this one. Subscribe, share, all that good stuff. But most importantly, play some great games. Thanks.